quarantine is driving me insane, so I made this video. Enjoy!
Hello, I am on day 6 of quarantine and I'm losing my mind a little bit, so I figured I'll do my makeup and I'll show you how I do it and how I transform my face from, you know, quite plain, simple to like a really dramatic look. But it's not like my level of dramatic, but I understand that like the makeup that I do, other people wouldn't even do on a night out. So, to get started, I always start with my brows. I've done that for so long. I can't remember the last time that I did foundation first. I think when I first started doing makeup, I was doing that, but once I learned, you know, the trick of like you do your eyebrow and then you know, carve it out and then you do the, like your eyes. So I do it that way. I do eyebrow, eyes, foundation, everything else. So I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in the shade Ash Brown. I think that's a pretty decent shade because it's like a dark brown, because I have black-ish hair, but like I wouldn't want to have black brows. So I went for a brown. But to be fair, when I got this, I still had brown hair, I think. Although I am growing it out. I always clean off my brush because it dries up after a while. And then I'll show you some of the process and then I'll just, and then I'll cut it because it's a process. And I think everyone does their brows differently. This isn't a brow tutorial whatsoever, but I mean, I start, you can see it from here, can't you? I just do the end. I don't do it in any particular order. So I'll do the top. And then I'll do the bottom of the end. I start with just the end. And then I keep kneading it up. Can you see it? Yeah. That makes my eyebrow look so weird in the camera, but also, if you hear shitty music, it's my flatmate. Quarantine's fun. Also, my eyebrows change. Like, I just did them, so they're gonna be thinner and more like subtle. But then the look I did yesterday, they're quite like big, because I'll insert a photo of what my natural brows look like before I started waxing them. I have like insane brows. I've always had like my hair grows back really quickly, really thick. They're like really like they go far, like really far down and everything. So my eyebrows vary, like depends on how they wax them, because I wax them myself and obviously sometimes I'll fuck up, so they have to go really thin. Sometimes I get them right the first time, so they look really nice. Anyways, so I was on the end. So, and then, because obviously you see that that's gone thicker, now I'm gonna like match up the top of this brow. And I'm always so messy with it because, I mean, I fix it all afterwards, but and then the most important thing is to blend out this inside bit, because like your brows, the end could look whatever, but if the inside bit isn't blended out, it just won't look as nice, so see? So this is obviously the eyebrow before I fix it with concealer. I'll be back with the other brow.
A few moments later.
So this is both my eyebrows done and like sculpted. I like will keep fixing it as I go with my makeup, just because I never like fully like them, but they're as even as I can usually get them, because as I said, my eyebrow shape is quite odd and oddly placed and really weird. Next, so I used to not use an eyeshadow primer, and when I'll tell you, it makes such a difference, like especially because I always do eyeshadow no matter what. it just makes everything stay on. Also, my eyeshadow doesn't go into my liner because it used to, like, at the end of the day, my liner would be whatever colour my eyeshadow was. So I use this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and there's the original one's just like transparent, but I got this one in the shade Eden, so it also creates like a light base so the colours stand out more on your eyes. So I like really pack it on. I'm not sure if you have to do that much, but I choose to do that much, you know. I just really go ham. Also, don't mind that, it's a rash because I've got extremely allergic skin. Okay. And then just blend it out. I usually blend this out with a dry. Same with my concealer for my brows with a dry, because that will like keep it all in place more, because obviously you want, when you blend your concealer on your face, you want it to like blend out really like seamlessly. You kind of don't want to see like the difference, but when you do, you know, your primer and your eye on your concealer, at least I want it to like be, because now you can like definitely see that like where the concealer is. Then I always clean under my eyes because I rarely do anything for under them, and just keep it clean like this. And then we're back with the eyeshadow. I have to decide that first. Okay, so for the eyeshadow today, I'm gonna do what I usually do. I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm gonna, you know, stick to what I know, which is like kind of like warmish kind of tones on the outside, really light on the inside, so it like pulls your eyes outwards, and then a nice like, you know, liner. So like all the brushes I use, it's a mix. So this one is just some cheap one that was like on Wish years ago. I mean, I've had this since I first started doing makeup, which was like properly when it wasn't my mum's, which was years ago. And then these are two Morphe brushes. So this one I used to pack on the colour, and then this is what I blend out with. I use the same ones for any look I do. I just clean them off right before each time that I use them. So I always start this one. So this is the palette. My friend Adrian gave it me for my birthday, because I usually don't buy like drugstore like palettes just because I didn't really have much faith in them. But I got this for my birthday 2 years ago, I think, from Adrian, and it is the I Love Revolution Nudes palette. And as you can see, I have used it a lot, and it's like so nice. So I always start off with the shade French Girls, because it's like a really soft brown, because you don't want to go in, at least like I don't go in with like a really dark one in case like it doesn't blend well or anything. So I always start, so just pack it on. For this one, I don't go further than halfway of the lid, because the other half is going to be very much focused like with white and like light shades. Then I take this and I really start blending it out. Really just go in. I am by no means doing this because I'm some sort of professional makeup. I'm not. I figure this out as I do it each time. But this is what works for me, which is something to keep in mind. So I just blend it out. So like that. They're just always a bit messy. Let me quickly do the other side. So this is obviously the first layer, kind of just giving yourself a base that you then pack on everything else on with. So using the same brush, clean it off. I just clean it off on some towel as much as I can. The next shade that we're going to go in with is Bare It All. So you can see the difference. It's just a bit more of like an orangey, reddish, like darker tone. So take this. Take a bit less than you would do with the other one. And then pack it on. When you pack it on, you don't want to pack it on super high because it's harder to blend. Because here, where you've put it on, it's obviously going to be harder to blend, but that's fine because you want all the colour. And then the edges, you just blend like out the other colour. So you already see, there's a very subtle difference, but it is darker because we're gonna just keep building up the dark the further we go out. So then the other eye, same thing, and then blend it out. Make sure as you're blending, you're not blending, you know, further like inwards, because you want to keep that area light, and you'll see why. Anyways, this quarantine thing, extremely boring, but also by day 6 you kind of learn to adjust. So like, I'm gonna be filming this, then editing it. I think that's pretty fun. Okay, so this is where we are right now. I feel like one's darker than the other. Okay, and then again, clean your brush, or if you've got more than, like I've got some other brushes but I just prefer these, so I just clean them and use them again. And then to like finish off like the kind of going darker towards the end, in the sheets, this one just here, very, very light, not much at all, just tap it a couple of times, and then just right on your crease, but just on the outer part of it, like here. Just pack it on lightly, especially because I have hooded lids. I want my crease to like really, really stand out. And then again, just really blend it. This time, just really focus on the crease. Don't be blending it out because you don't want it to go really dark on the outside. Just crease. Yeah, let's just darken it a little bit. And then the same on the other side. Okay, so that's kind of what you ended up with. Okay, so then this, so then we leave, I always leave the corners and the inside bare, like there's only just nothing on it, because I like to put some white on the inside. So I've got this Morphe, I think it was the 12 Picasso palette. It's very colourful. I'm going to use the white, which there's like the tiniest bit left, but then I also, because I have some light shades in here, I always mix it with Frosted, and then I just try to get as much, like really pack on the white and the light. Frosted has a slight glitter in it, so obviously if you're not into that, which I'm usually not actually, then I'd advise against it, but really pack on the light, because it really opens, well, it opens your eyes and it also just makes everything go, you know? So it's that, so you can see that it's so much lighter than this bit. And then do the same on the other side. I'm really low on white eyeshadow, so I'm gonna have to order some more, because what I'm using from the Revolution palette is not as good as the white I was using from the Picasso one, but obviously I'm making do. Because I don't want to buy a whole colourful palette, because besides like the warm shades, I've hardly used anything else, so it's a bit of a waste. But sometimes I go with my finger, because you can pack on so much more with your finger. Focus the white the most on the inner corner, and then everything else just blend out. Obviously, if you're doing this makeup on somebody else, don't use your fingers, but I'm doing it on myself, so it doesn't matter. So then I just make sure that everything's nice and blended as I go further. I will sometimes go in with the brush that I used last for the brown, just to accentuate the crease again. Because obviously when you go in on your fingers and stuff, you can accidentally blend out the wrong bits. So that is the eyeshadow. Lovely. Okay, so that's that. And then again, so this time when I wipe the under eyes, I will also wipe with the same shape that I want my eyeliner in, because like I'm decent at eyeliner, but it does help when I wipe away the eyeshadow, because I also don't like eyeshadow under my eyeliner. So either way, where my eyeliner is my eyeshadow stops. So just kind of go So it's a very light line, but it'll be easy to fill in with eyeliner. Same with the other side. So that's that. And then next is eyeliner. I'm gonna do that off camera because there's no way I can focus and do it while on camera, so I'll be back with eyeliner. So I've done the liner. I just do, it's never even as well. People always say on Instagram like, your eyeliner's so perfect. It isn't. You can very clearly see how different it is, but doesn't matter. Next is a step not everyone does, but I've kind of, I used to never do lashes because I couldn't do them. And then now I can't imagine, I couldn't just put mascara on and go. Mostly because my lashes, I don't know if you can see them, they are dire. They are like 3 hairs and they are extremely straight. So I use lashes. I order them in bulk. By bulk I mean like, it comes in like a little section of 10 from like Wish or AliExpress. I also like really dramatic ones. So these are the ones I currently use the most. And then I just use whatever glue I have nearby. This is some, also, it came with my lashes. Bonnie choice, I don't know, but it's like really good. It's extremely strong. And it keeps my lashes on all day, which is actually really good because, I mean, if I do my makeup, I expect to wear it for a full day. Except for today, because I'm going nowhere, so I'm doing this purely for the video. Make sure you coat your lashes really well. Make sure you focus on both the corners, but also don't overdo the glue because obviously that can create many issues with it sliding around. And then okay. And then my glue is a bit old now, so it already gets tacky really quickly, but let it get like super tacky to the point where when you put it on, it sticks on straight away, and all you have to do is just kind of fix it a little bit, because if it's still wet, you're gonna put it on, it's gonna keep sliding, and obviously it won't stick straight away, so it's just gonna keep moving around, so you have to make sure it's like insanely tacky. And you can just do this usually. I've got hiccups as well, I don't know why. And I just like, usually listen to music as well, so doing this without music is weird. I am watching RuPaul's Drag Race right now though, in between, like when I film, but I get it really like as tacky as possible, and then as you're doing that you might move some stuff, so just make sure your corners are covered, because I've had the issue recently, which I still have no idea why, but my corners keep on sticking, and I've done my eyelashes the same I've always done, but the last like month and a bit I've really struggled with my eyelashes staying on the way I want them to. So if you got anything that would fix that issue, let me know, because it is very annoying, because my lashes will look good for an hour and then they'll start coming off in the corner and it just looks weird. But also it could be my eye shape, and I've got new lashes, so it could be that, but I don't know, I'm doing the same thing as I always do. Anyway, so let it get really tacky, like real tacky. Also, I'm like not great at lashes, so I always make mistakes. Lashes will often look wonky. That is like the one thing that I'm still learning as I go. Even though I do them every time, it's, you know, it's still a learning process because I didn't do them for such a long time. There's just things like eyeliner. Same with eyeshadow, to be fair. I used to not do eyeshadow, but now it's like eyeliner I've always done. Like when I first started doing makeup, for my mum's makeup, the main thing I used was eyeliner, because I was an emo. We emos or whatever. But yeah, it's just a learning process. Anyways, I think this is tacky enough. Make sure, especially when it's this tacky, you have it exactly where you want it, because once you put it down, it will not move. And if you try to move it out of place, the glue will like pick up your lashes and pick up like your eyeliner and stuff. Okay. So, I don't use tweezers or anything, and I hope you can see this, but I'll be
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
sorry, my neighbour's drilling for some ridiculous reason. but like, so my lash was tacky enough and I put it in the perfect place. And then all you do as it's drying properly, you just make sure you position it where you want it. Like in the corner, that is the main bit. Because it like makes or breaks the way your lashes look. So I'll stick the other one on and I'll be back. Motherfucker. Okay, so I've done both lashes, and as you can see, they're like also really weird. Again, goes back to how my eye shapes are very different to each other. So what I do is I grab my mascara, which I just get whatever it is. I got this as a freebie. It's the Damn Girl Too Faced. I got it as a freebie when I bought my Too Faced stuff because I spent a lot of money on Too Faced back in like October. So it's a really nice mascara actually. So then I focus on the outside. I get the under bit of my lashes. The biggest focus is on the outside, and then I do a bit inside as well, and you'll see why. And then same on the other side. And then, because right now my lashes are a bit droopy and low, to lift them, I sit here and I do this. And the mascara almost helps as a glue because it will glue your natural lashes to your fake ones. And if you hold them up long enough, the outside will stay that way. Not for the whole time, I can tell you that, but it does create more of a, you know, like upwards, higher up look. Okay. Do you make sure that if your glue isn't like super duper fully dry, that you do not push them out of the way that you put them in. Okay, so that is my eye makeup done, minus a couple of things, but those are things that I do after I do my foundation. So, I'll be back with my foundation routine. And now onto my face and the foundation, everything I do. So I use two different primers. So I've got the Professional from Benefit, which is a classic. I put that exclusively on my nose because I feel like my nose is quite, you can see like the pores on my nose are really bad. My nose has got like a really weird texture as well. So this helps blend everything in. I do quite a bit. Do with my fingers, fingers, and then I just really blend it in. Some people don't like this because they say their makeup kind of moves around, but if I don't fill up my pores with the Professional, my like highlight and everything else looks really bad. So you can already see it's slightly more blurred in. So that's the only place I use that. But then the other one that I use is the Too Faced Hangover Face Primer because it's really hydrating and I've got extremely dry skin. I don't actually know if it helps with your makeup staying on longer, but I don't use this primer for makeup longevity. That, for me, that's what setting spray is for. So I really go in. Try not to go over the nose too much because you obviously don't want to mix the Professional and the Hangover. Really blend it in. I moisturize before this, by the way. I don't keep moisturizer on as I'm doing my eyebrows and everything because it just always causes a mess for me. But yeah, really blend it in. Lovely. And then I'll be back. I need to wet my beauty blender. I forgot that.
Eventually.
So when it comes to my foundation, do you hear this? I say recently, October as well, I got the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Swan. Damn. Okay. So I use that. So let me get some. Where's my brush? Again, same brush, same brush. Oh, I can't speak. And this is like not the way everybody does it, but really go in on my forehead. And then I bring it down to my cheeks. I put it on really messily because, I mean, I'm not, this is not the way I'm gonna leave my house, so. I focus on the nose because my nose is a weird, that looks awful. My nose is a weird like texture. I tend to not put too much on my nose. But then I go in, blend it out like really well. And then make sure you blend the bridge because I feel like, not the bridge, but like the bit between your eyebrows, because I've often left that out and I've got some pictures where it is so visible and it looks, I mean, it looks awful. Like, there's no covering that up. But then, had somebody once asked me, how do you, like how do you do your foundation around your eyes? And I'm like, I mean, my foundation is the shade of my skin, so I don't really have to like, you know, like underline my eye makeup and stuff because it really blends in. Okay, so obviously I'm not gonna leave like this, but I always leave that for concealer. But before I do concealer, I've got the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder. It's amazing. It literally feels like silk. Like, it's amazing. So I put some out in the lid. Always too much. And then I've got this, my other beauty blender, which is always dry. And then I put it in, this face down. I have it ready because I don't set any part of my face except for my under eyes, because my under eyes crease really easily because I've got so many wrinkles under my eyes. So I'll take this, not too much, which is the Born This Way concealer, and then I blend it in. And then you just blend it down a bit more because obviously you want it to match the rest of your foundation. Because it is lighter, it does brighten your under eyes. And then I put some powder on, and I like really press it in. So I'm not really baking, I'm more just setting it, because if I don't set my under eyes, I mean, the wrinkles move my concealer around straight away. The only other part that I've set is the bit around my lips and mustache and here. And then whilst I'm waiting for this, I powder my face with this MAC Prep and Prime transparent powder. I've just got this powder brush from Zamira that my sister got me for my birthday. And very lightly, because I don't want to dry my skin out, I'll just go over the rest of the skin. Start slowly brushing everything off. Brush the under eyes off, because I said I'm not baking the under eyes. I just make sure the under eyes get the most powder. So they're nice and set. Blend it into my neck, because I don't want it to go from wet to dry. And then that's that. That is my powder and my foundation done. And then the next step is bronzer, because if I don't do bronzer, I look like an egg. So I've got this Benefit Hoola bronzer, which is like the original colour. I know they've got more colours now, but I got this ages ago. So I do like quite a lot, because as you can see, I'm just very pale and boring. So I just go ham. There is no method to this madness, I'm not gonna lie to you. Just really warm myself up because I am extremely pale. And because I do such dramatic eyes, if I did dramatic eyes and and didn't like, you know, bronze my face, it would make me look extremely just weird. And then I've started recently going into my forehead because I realised that my forehead is also just, I mean, tragic in terms of like colour matching. But make sure this bit, I used to miss out this bit, but obviously when you do it, make sure the other bits are like blended in. But when you do the forehead, try not to do too much on your brush, because I've done that and then you've just got this massive line. Do enough to where you can still blend it out. Okay. Then go over that. So then that's me all bronzed up and nice. I don't do my jawline because I haven't got one, so there's nothing much I can fix. Bronzer can't fix that. And then what I do is I take this, it's like a makeup wipe, it's still wet, and clean off my lips. Okay, lovely. And then I've got two highlighters that I use. So it kind of fluctuates. It's either the Fenty Beauty Hustler Baby one or Too Faced, I don't even know the name of it, but like the gem one in this colour. Because I am so pale, I can get away with it. Not everyone could, but I also like a really dramatic highlighter, so I'll just go in. Just go ham. Obviously, because you've got bronzer on, make sure that you do like blend it in, because it is, you can see how white the highlighter is. Same. I keep dropping my powder. My beauty blenders. There. Then I've got this Techniques brush. It's one of those tiny ones, so I use this to do my underbrow, which is so important, especially because I have really hooded eyes and my brows are really low on my face. When it's bright under the eyebrows, it makes such a huge difference. And I like it really dramatic. Not everybody does. As I said, I've done dramatic makeup for a long, long time. Same thing here. And then I always do the Cupid's bow. Really lightly, obviously. As I said, there's not much method to this madness. And then I do very light on the end of my nose. I'll do some on my chin. And then I try to do some on my bridge. But as I said, because my nose is really, really textured, I have to be really careful. But this is basically it. Then I use two setting sprays. I have got the Urban Decay All-Nighter in Chill. It's cooling and hydrating. So I use this first because I feel like it makes the makeup on stay the longest, but it also is not that hydrating, so that. And then the second one that I use on top of that is the Too Faced Hangover Replenishing and Setting Spray.